kind of muscles you have? No. Bro, what kind of patterns you have? Or is it just aesthetics?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Training Every Single Day. I started off today working in the power rack, doing some strength and mobility, working with the one arm pull up, and working with some dips in order to build mobility. Now the one arm pull up, I'm really working with an isometric hold. Isometric means you're not moving anything in particular, you're standing still. That's a really good way to build strength without adding too much fatigue and damage to the body. It adds a lot of stimulus without adding a lot of damage that you have to recover from. I'm getting a lot stronger in this position that I'm training in, this 90-degree hold of the arms and the one arm pull-up, building a lot of strength. I'm noticing a lot longer hold time, which is always good to see. Any kind of progress is always welcome. And then with the dips here, I'm working with maximum mobility. I'm going as deep as I can in order to get a nice stretch in the shoulders, a nice stretch in the chest. That also does some damage for hypertrophy and stimulus. It's really good to use full range of motion if you're training generally. If you're having specific goals, like for the one-arm pull-up, I'm using less of a range of motion. No range of motion, just holding a specific position in order to build up to that kind of strength that I'm going after. Now, after I did this, I really went outside and did a lot of free movement flows in order to build up not really build up anything, but just to give some expression and some work with some of the patterns I'm trying to do. I was really quite fatigued from doing a lot of the starter press and the one-arm handstands in the past. So this is really nice to finally get to work something a little easier to let me recover some. I am running out. I kind of get a little tired of talking just specifically about training, so I'll do another story time today. I went to a Bible camp one time when I was very young. Not very young, when I was in high school. I was about 14. There's this Bible camp that it was about a state away. So I ended up, everyone would go on a bus. We'd go there. It'd take about all day to get there on the bus ride. And the only thing that really was eventful was that the bus kind of crashed. Not really crashed, but it took a wrong turn and then went up a hill, and it was a very large bus so that it couldn't actually get out. It got stuck. And the bus had about 60 people in it, and high school people. And for some reason, we all thought that this is a humongous bus weighing several tons, 10 tons. And we're thinking wow, if we really just pushed it, we could get it out of this ditch. So we got all the biggest people on the bus to push it. And, it's a 2-ton bus or several ton bus. It did not budge at all. So anyways, I had to get towed. And we eventually got to the camp. And on about the second day, there was probably the craziest event that, I'm surprised. It was very fun when we did it, but I'm surprised that it's even allowed or legal in today's day of age. It reminds me of something you would see in ancient times for entertainment. The goal was, it's a pretty simple wrestling game, where you put everyone would wear socks and just socks and no shoes, and the purpose was to take off everyone else's socks, and we would be divided up into schools. So there were several schools that went there, and there's each school was on a team, and they had no rules. There's literally no rules. So people in high school all going out there, and it was divided by sexes, so it was just boys when I went out. And the only rules was don't be that guy. And the verbatim, that was the rule. And, it's a wrestling game taking off other people's socks, and there's no rules, essentially. I'm surprised not a lot of people got hurt more than it did, because you would end up having about 100 people in a 60-foot circle in a pretty much a gladiatorial combat, trying to yank off each other's socks. And I was supremely surprised that the only injury was only one person broke a collarbone out of hundreds of people in the circle essentially just fighting each other. So some of the most eventful things that I remember doing it, there's about 2 rounds that I was participating in, and I remember there was a very large boy, very obese, and my friend, he was I'm just gonna put it straight. He like double drop kicked him straight in the chest. This is just like obese guy, just got bland right in the chest. He was fine. He was quite a bit. He was like the kid himself was pretty large, so he ended up being okay. But I'm surprised they allowed something so like brutal in like puberty, like right when like I was about 14 at the time. It was quite fun. Like honestly, I don't regret it. I didn't end up losing my socks, which was one of the important things. But I do remember that one time, like I was pinned down by like about 6 people, and I really imagine that that's what like knights in shining armor would feel like when they lose, when they would get like pinned down by a bunch of guys and eventually murdered, because I really did feel helpless. But I do remember I called out to one of my friends. I was like, yo, he was right by, and miraculously this one guy ended up pushing off like 6 people off of me enough just to get scaved out, or just to weasel my way back to the safety of like the group. Because I think the biggest strategy is like there would be about 6 people, and we'd like you'd like be in a group like against the edge where there's no one behind you, and then you'd run out and you'd grab one person, you'd pull them in, take their socks off. It was kind of like a yank them in, pull them into the group of 6 and then surround them, which is it was quite fun. A lot of people would get really intense with it. They'd wear like soccer socks that go up to like your ankles or your knees, but overall it was pretty brutal. I didn't get hurt. I'd expect a lot more people to get injured, but only one collarbone get broken. Not that bad out of like 100 people. And the girls section was not anywhere near as brutal as the guys. The girls were having a lot more fun. Well, I think everyone had fun, but they were a lot more safe, and I think just the way guys are made is not really too safe the way that it ended up going down. So anyways, if you made it this far in the video, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel, and I'll have some more videos coming out soon. Don't forget to do some movement flows on your rest days. Just because you're not training and trying to push any limits doesn't mean you shouldn't move or try to develop some of the softer skills, like some softness or some of the things you're not specifically in your goals. So you'll have goals that kind of set your direction of where you're going to be training and what you're going to be doing with your practice, what you're going to try to build up to. And there's also like you're going to just inevitably neglect things. So it's important to take a 180, kind of train the things that you're not training to be as diverse as possible in your movement, so that you can eventually your goals are going to change. You're going to have a little bit of a different mindset in the future than you do now of what you wanted to train. So it's often good to practice some of the things that you didn't expect to need, but that will most likely help you in the future. Like for me, I'm spending a lot of time training the standing position, just moving from the standing position, and then also moving from the squat, changing positions, being steady on the feet, some single leg balance. Those are the main kind of movements that I'm practicing here, if you're going to take a look and see. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to have a pretty good day training some more strength if I'm not too fatigued, because the reason I took the rest day is because today I was super tired. Not really any noticeable fatigue, but I just know that my body has... when I sleep more, I end up sleeping a lot more, taking naps. That's how I know that I need more rest. And I'm going to take a little bit of time. Hopefully I'll be ready tomorrow to do more shoulder press, add that into my movement flows. Again, I'm still resting my legs from acrobatics because I think my ankles just need a little bit of a break, and my lower legs need a little bit of a break from the backflip training. I really want to get back into that. I'll probably do some flares. That might be something I'd like to train again. probably have some energy for that tomorrow. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.